Humans and animals have coexisted since the dawn of time, and as our knowledge of these animals expand, the relationship of humans and animals have also evolved. We often hear stories about humans saving animals, but there are also plenty of cases where animals stepped up to save human lives. Here are 5 amazing cases of animals saving humans. Lulu, the pot-bellied pig. Lulu was an unwanted birthday present given to a woman who didn't even want to take the pig home. Feeling sorry for the pig, the birthday girl's mum, Joanne Altman, took the pig in and looked after it, but little did she know Lulu would ultimately end up saving her life. When Joanne suffered a heart attack in her home, Lulu sprang into action. Sensing that Jo was in trouble, Lulu squeezed herself through the doggy door, then managed to escape the yard and found a highway. In an attempt to get help, Lulu laid in the middle of the road, hoping someone would stop and help. Lulu would also run back periodically to check on Joanne. This carried on for over 45 minutes until a motorist finally stopped and followed Lulu home. The Good Samaritan discovered Joanne had just suffered a heart attack and called the paramedics. Joanne was then transported to the hospital. For saving Joanne, Lulu got her favorite treat, a jelly donut. Binti the gorilla. Binti is a female western lowland gorilla at the Brookfield Zoo in Chicago, Illinois. It was a busy day at the Brookfield Zoo on August 16, 1996. Crowds of children gather outside the gorilla enclosure, eager to get a glimpse at the massive primates. However, an overexcited 3-year-old boy got away from his mother, then climbed over the railing around the gorilla exhibit and fell 18 feet into the enclosure below. The boy suffered a broken hand, a gash on his face, and was temporarily knocked unconscious from the fall. In the enclosure were 7 gorillas. One of them was Binti, an 8-year-old female with a baby gorilla on her back. As zookeepers worked frantically to rescue the boy, other gorillas were naturally curious and approached the boy, but Binti protected him and cradled the unconscious boy in her arms. Initially, it was feared that Binti would attack the boy, but what happened next surprised even the zookeepers. While protecting the boy from other primates, Binti made her way through the enclosure and carried the boy to an entrance where zookeepers could retrieve him. After the incident, the footage made waves around the world. Take a look. The boy later made a full recovery but was never identified. Ning Nong the elephant. On December 26, 2004, a magnitude 9.3 earthquake occurred off the coast of Indonesia, causing devastating tsunamis to hit coastal areas in the Indian Ocean. Days after the tragedy, there were many tales of miraculous survival, but one of the most amazing survival stories was that of an 8-year-old girl, Amber Mason. On that fateful day, 8-year-old Amber Mason from England was on holiday in Phuket, Thailand with her family. The highlight of her holiday up until that point was her friendship with Ning Nong, a 4-year-old Asian elephant. After finishing breakfast, Amber ran off to visit Ning Nong. She climbed on the elephant's back, and the two of them followed the elephant's owner, Yong, down to the beach. By that time, the water had receded, but no one knew this was a warning sign for the impending tsunami. Yong was busy collecting fish while Ning Nong and Amber walked around. It's as if the elephant knew something was wrong. All of a sudden, Ning Nong bolted inland, trying to get away from the beach. As Ning Nong headed inland, the tsunami struck. With Amber still on his back, Ning Nong stood firmly and held his ground while taking the brunt of the tsunami impact. As Amber's parents frantically screamed and searched for her, they were already in knee-deep water. All of a sudden, they see Ning Nong at the far end of the beach, with Amber still on his back. The Masons managed to get back to their room before a second wave hit. Without the help of Ning Nong, it's very likely Amber would have been swept away. The family is so grateful to the elephant that they decided to pay $30 a month to help Yong with Ning Nong's expenses. Mila, the beluga whale. Belugas were among the first whales to interact with mankind and are known for their intelligence and affinity towards humans. Yang Yun, a young diver from China, was competing in a free dive competition held at the Polar Land Aquarium in Harbin, northeast China, in hopes of landing a job as a whale trainer. Competitors were required to dive into a 6-meter water tank chilled to Arctic temperatures and go as deep as they can and stay there for as long as possible without using breathing apparatus. Yang Yun dived to a depth of 4.5 meters on her first attempt, and as she prepared to resurface, she found her legs crippled by cramps due to the frigid waters. As she ran out of breath, Yang Yun began to choke and sank even deeper into the tank. One of the resident beluga whales, Mila, spotted the young diver in distress and immediately went to her aid. Mila maneuvers Jung with her mouth, then gripped the diver's leg and pushed her to the surface, where she was rescued by other competitors. An official at Polarland later stated that Mila is a sensitive animal who works closely with humans, and she definitely saved Yang Jung that day. Dolphins. In Greek and Old Sea stories, countless tales exist about dolphins coming to the aid of humans in distress, protecting people from sharks and guiding ships through treacherous waters. Dolphins are often dubbed angels of the ocean, and a Californian surfer experienced this firsthand. On a sunny day in California on the 28th of August in 2007, surfer Todd Andrews and his friends were at Marina State Beach in Monterey Bay. The group of friends paddled out on their surfboards to catch a few waves. Todd sat on his surfboard as he watched his friends. Without warning, a monster great white shark launched itself towards Todd. The 12 to 15 feet long shark could not fit both the surfer and surfboard in its jaws, but the force of the impact was enough to knock Todd off his surfboard. Disorientated, Todd turned around and saw the shark coming for a second attack. The shark bit down on the surfer's torso, then released its bite, but went for a third attack and managed to latch onto the surfer's right leg. As the surfer struggles to free his leg, the shark released its bite and swam away. But before it could come back for another attack, a pod of dolphins came to Todd's rescue. The dolphins began swarming around and jumping over the surfer, then formed a protective barrier around him. The protective barrier prevented the shark from coming back for another attack and bought enough time for Todd to get back to shore. As Todd recalls, without the help of dolphins, he very much could have ended up with more severe injuries or even dying. Besides the scars, Todd made a full recovery. I sometimes wonder what motivates animals to intervene when they see humans in distress. Is it their maternal instinct? Is it perhaps they see us as one of their own? And most of all, how do they sense if we're in distress? These amazing stories teach us that most animals, even the most unexpected ones, are capable of compassion and altruism. Perhaps humans and animals are not so different after all. So that's 5 incredible cases of animals saving humans. I hope you enjoyed this video, and I'll see you in the next one.